For instance, like let me just talk about the lending process for just a second.
Go for it.
Most people feel like, man, I should just be able to get business credit and get a business loan, and they don't realize those two things are two different things. Like they're totally two different things. Um, I can apply for a business loan for you, but because of that one tidbit of information that people fail to realize is there's a difference between a business loan and a commercial loan. A business loan, they're going to always tie you as the person to the loan.
Right.
Even if it just shows up on the business quote unquote credit report, um, that's a totally separate thing than a commercial loan where they don't even have you as a personal guarantor. And then it's just like McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, right? All of them sell hamburgers, French fries, and a cold drink in a combo, but they all have their different twists and their different flavors. Banks are the same way. You have
Right.
some banks that they don't care that your utilization is high. You have other banks that do care that your utilization is high.
You know what?
It's just
You
banks.
should you're putting out some nuggets and you don't realize it. And you might want to work on that piece right there, what you just said. People don't know that banks have different, just like any business, they all have a mission statement. They all have a focus. They have a niche. Like there's some banks that specialize in home loan mortgages. Some banks
Mm-hmm.
specialize in giving out personal loans. Some do auto
Mm-hmm.
loan, and some that creates a level of tolerance for particular banks that another bank might not have. And I think you need to talk about that because the banks, I don't think people realize that banks are entitled to say, like you said, that's too high. Your usage is too high. One might
Mm-hmm.
say 20% is good. One might say 35% is good. You as the consumer have no way of knowing that. And guess what the bank can do? They can change their mind. They can shift. They can wake up this year and say, you know what? We used to have usage of 25%. We're gonna drop that down to 15% today.
And the other catch to that is, right, you have people that will get denied because of cash flow. Well, what does that mean? That means that it doesn't matter what I do with a person's tax returns. It doesn't matter what if how we do the profit and loss statement and the balance sheets, or whatever the case is. A bank sometimes want to see your bank statements. Some banks want to see your bank statements just to see that you do have a business bank account. Others want to see, do you have the amount of money that you're applying for coming um,
Yeah, the
through their
ability to
account,
pay, the
the
ability
ability
to
to
pay back.
repay. And banks have become so savvy now where gone are the days where you can just submit bank statements. Now they're making you connect to Plaid. Plaid is a secure third party system where now the bank gets view only rights into your bank account. So it don't matter, because why? They knew that people were, there are a lot of people that can, create bank statements and stuff like that. So it's like, look,
Right.
let me get that out of the way, and let me go ahead and put in this third party system where it can verify, good morning, your bank account, right? So now let's set business lending aside for just a second. Let's talk about business credit. People don't even know what that is, right? And it's like it's almost like I enjoy educating people, but it becomes redundant because they're thinking of business credit in the same way that they think of personal credit. And what I mean by that is business credit is it comes in multiple forms, right? If you automatically went to try to open net 30 accounts and trade line accounts under your LLC, it don't matter what you do. It's still connected to you. And I don't care what people tell you, it's still connected to you because why? You've just put your personal information into their database, and now the two of you all are seen as one. So when we try to create a corporation and create credit separately, what I'm trying to get you to understand is I have to now untangle that. We have to go back to Dun and Bradstreet and tell Dun and Bradstreet that, hey, this is a corporation. Let's get some net 30 accounts. Let's get some fuel accounts just to establish, hold on, just to establish a Paydex score. Well, you can't get a Paydex score until you use the net 30 accounts that we created for you.
Well, Dwayne, this is what you're talking about this morning is the same problem we've been talking about for 2 years now. It feels like, and is the reason that Chase Bank brings you and I in to talk to people because everybody that wants capital in cash doesn't realize the stuff you should have done before asking, right? You deal with one aspect, structure the business, get your books right, help build credit. I focus on, let me show you how to make your business, your service, or your product make money, right?
Right.
Because those are the two things the bank want to see. They want to know that you're structured right, you're managing right. They want to know that you can produce income with your idea already before you come ask us for money. And the bad news is everybody just wants money, but they don't want to
That's it.
do what it takes to
That's
make
it.
money.
That's it.
People
And
who,
and
here's the
and
thing, people who can't make money don't deserve to ask for money. It's
come
really
on.
that simple.
And I think that's the thing. It's like I don't you loans are something that should boost your business, not make your business. Grants are something that should just add an extra, piece of injection of cash into your business, not be your end all be all. You have to be able to take your business and make money in your business. I don't care if I set up everything right. If I even establish you credit profiles, unless you go into your business and work your business, it's
That's it right there.
it's
Working
man.
your business right. I was sharing with a client the other day. I told him you have to simultaneously do some things. You have to get your business the back end right while working on the front end at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That's just business 101. You have to do the back end and the front end at the same time. You don't do one or the other because some people so hyper focus on just the back end because they want to get a loan. The
Mm.
question is this: either you want the business to make money or you want a business to give you money. That's what's happening with a lot of people, right? They're only doing what's necessary. Watch this. So they could, or they're only focused on what'll get them a loan from somebody so they can start working the business and they don't realize that's backwards. You should be working the business so that you can qualify for a loan from somebody.
And I think that's the thing. I mean, and here, and I see so many cases, man. Like even right now, there are people that are being denied loans because they have too many UCC liens. And basically, what that means is you already got loans out there. Nothing more, nothing less. You
Yeah.
can't operate your business just off loans. You gotta pay them
Yes.
back.
That's what
Like,
they
come
say. That. Hey,
on.
don't run past that. Can you repeat what they gotta do? They
You
gotta give that back. That's what people when people ask to borrow money, I question do they know they gotta pay it back? I often wonder that like, do you know y'all gotta pay this back, right?
Coach
And if
Keith
your
said,
business is not making money, good luck with that.
so thank you, Coach Keith, for bringing this up. And let me help educate. Now, this is an educational moment. D. Williams at Chase Bank Atlanta says the company president, they will always pull my credit. That's because you are applying for a business loan and not a commercial loan. Whenever you apply for a commercial loan, here's the nugget. Here's the nugget. You have to show that your business does a certain amount of money in revenue. That way, now here's the crazy part. That way, not only do you prove that your business can sustain things on its own on the commercial level, but that's that separation. And and if you look at it from this perspective, as a brand new corporation, you haven't had enough experiences and trials to apply for a commercial loan because you haven't been around long enough. Whenever a business has been open 3 to 5 years, as a corporation and can show that they did a certain amount of money of revenue 2 years in a row, that's when a bank is going to give that business commercial lines of credit without using a personal guarantor. Until then, of course, they're going to always make you personally guarantee it, because why? The business hadn't proved themselves that they can do it by themselves long enough.
Okay, so
And
look,
and this is why I guess it's like, I think sometimes people confuse, if I tell them, hey, become a corporation tomorrow, you don't ever have to use your social security number. In most cases you don't, but in a lot of cases you do. It depends on
Dwayne,
the longevity of the company.
can we make this simple? Can we make it simple? I got a question for you.
Answer.
If you go to the bank and ask for a personal loan right now, what's one thing people gonna ask you?
For a personal loan, what you need it for, how much money you make.
Oh, there you go, right there, you hit it. How much money you make, right? They want to know your income. There's always a question that's asked is about income, which is part of the equation for the ability to repay. So if you go to the bank and says, I don't have a job, give me $100,000, what do you think the response is going to be and why? It's very well going to be because you don't have income. How can we assure you're going to pay us back? People don't realize that when they do a business loan, that question applies. How much money is your business making? And their business, if a business is not making money, the bank is going to be reluctant to give you money back.
You know, can I take about 3 to 5 minutes, if you can, just to kind of break something down real quick?
Go for it.
All right. Here is the elephant. Let me address the elephant in the room. 98% of the time, whenever you're speaking to someone at the bank, they don't even know what it means to run a business. Number two, whenever you're spending time talking to somebody at a bank, the first thing is the same thing is the reason why you opened your LLC. They all think an LLC. Even the bank thinks LLC. Like, it's the thing. That is the norm. So whenever you're speaking to a representative of the bank, they're going to automatically ask you, do you have your LLC? They're not going to even ask you, are you structured as a corporation? Because the mindset isn't there. Now, Chase is a bank that, you know, when you look at the big four banks, you have a Chase Bank, a Bank of America, Wells Fargo. They are the banks that always want people to have these impeccable credit scores, all kind of revenue, etc., etc. Well, when you deal with, watch this, a community development financial institution, which is a CDFI lender, now you're thinking about minority businesses that are getting loans. So what's the one thing that you automatically associate with minorities getting loans? Lack of an education. That means, okay, I can, instead of you having a 700 to go get a bank loan at Chase, you know what? We can let you get a loan at a 600 credit score. Now ask yourself the rationale. If Chase is going to give you $100,000, but they want you to have a 700 credit score, but this CDFI is going to give you $100,000 and they only need a 600, what's the one thing that stands out?
Ooh, boy, you telling people the secret right now.
They automatically gonna know that if I'm gonna give you $100,000 with only a 600 credit score, I'm gonna damn sure check everything that you got as it relates to your ability to pay back. But here's the other nugget. If they are geared towards lending to minorities, guess who's making decisions on your loans? Minorities. And you know how we do.
You know, the worst part is, matter of fact, look, Onyx just pointed it out. Interest. The way they feel about you is reflected in your interest rate.
And guess what? Do you know what has become the biggest lender right now that is killing people today?
Mm.
You remember back in the day when you used to when you didn't have no money, Ace Cash Advance came on the scene. You ain't get a payday advance. Well, now MCAs, merchant cash advances, are business payday
Yeah.
loans.
Yeah.
Anytime
Oh,
that you have to make a payment daily or weekly, that's a business payday loan.
Dwayne, say that. Say that. Can you say that a little louder for the people in the back?
A merchant cash advance is a lender who will give you money today, if not tomorrow. And they're going to make you pay daily or weekly payments, and that's a business payday cash advance. They're going to ask to see your bank statements, and they're going to give you money based on your bank statements. And do you know how they catch you? Because you always looking for the money. And when somebody sends you a note, man, I can get you 60,000 tomorrow, you jumping on it like white on rice. And you don't even realize that those are the same people that can freeze your personal bank account.
Boy, they find out later though. They find out later. Here's the reality. If you can't handle your own personal credit, you're probably gonna struggle with business credit.
And
Because
again, here, go
you
ahead.
don't have a bookkeeper. You didn't get somebody that knows money better than. Sometimes, here's the thing: don't confuse your ability to make money with managing money. Right? Some people do that. If you're not good at managing money, that's okay. That's not a problem. Get somebody on your team that can. Pay a
And then
company, hire somebody, get an accountant to help you in the areas you're not that strong in. Because your
and
habits is gonna follow you into your business world. I promise you.
and let me help y'all with something. And I need y'all to be I need y'all to hear me. And I don't care who mama on here and who attorney on here. I don't care. Let me help you. Anytime somebody tells you that in order for you to get a business loan, your credit has to be 700, you're not getting a business loan. You're getting a joint loan between you and the business.
Uh, you co-signing for your business.
You're co-signing. And one must ask themselves, why is it that if I need a business loan, I got to pull my personal credit? That lets you know that the two of you all are not separate.
It takes time, man, to build that reputation. They don't know. It just
And that is where people fail. They don't
takes time.
understand that it takes time. You want to take your impatience, hold on, and your lifestyle that you're living, and you want to place that on the burden of you getting a loan. A loan is not supposed to help you take a vacation.
Brother, one thing I know is that Father Time is undefeated. He ain't never lost a battle, and everybody calls upon him for the most important things in life. He is undefeated. You can
And I
fight him
am
all you
realizing, yep. And I'm realizing more and more, man, like to be honest with you, like where honestly, and I'm not going to use the word unmotivated because that's not what I am. I'm not unmotivated. I'm always motivated to help people. My biggest challenge as a business coach and consultant is getting people to understand time. I don't care if I set everything up today. You may not see the rewards of that transition to another 6 months. Because why? You need stuff to catch up. You just spent 5 years doing it the wrong way. Now in 30 days it's supposed to be done the right way. Come on, like
that's the thing. The sense of urgency was provoking the sense of urgency for most people when
I'm
it
coming,
comes to
Monica.
issues of money is their personal needs, not the vision. It ain't because they have the vision in hand, they're passionate about what they're doing. It's their personal needs. And that makes them very impatient when it comes to it, man. Time, like they say, time heals all wounds. When you didn't handle the finances right or build the financial stability or reputation you need, it's going to take time.
Oh, and here's the other thing. Man, I made a decision based on that me getting that loan. Why would you do that? Why would you make a financial decision based upon you getting something that you never got already?
You know why? Watch this. What do we say? How you do one thing is how
Is how
you
you
do
do another.
everything. It is the same mentality that made you plan out your income tax check before you even got it.
It's already spent. It's
It's
already
spent
spent.
already.
You know, and then Monica, if you're an LLC and we switch to a corporation, do they look at your revenue from the start of the LLC or since the beginning of the corporation, depending on who's doing your taxes? Message. Okay, sorry. My bad, Monica. The answer to your question is it should be looked at from the beginning of the LLC if it's done properly. Sorry, I needed that laugh this morning. Thank you for the question. That's a true statement. So anyway, so this morning's edition of Dear Business Owner, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dewayne Williams. I sit in the seat of Mac Enterprise Consulting. We are a full-service business consulting firm, and what we do is we help educate business owners and teach business owners how to properly separate themselves from the business by way of restructuring them from an LLC to a corporation. We also help people start businesses. We help people build legacies and things of that nature. I also sit in the CEO chair of Mac Enterprise Tax Services, which is a full service tax firm where we do individual taxes, we do business taxes, and we also do corporation taxes as well as nonprofit taxes. My co-host today is none other than King himself. He sits in the CEO chair of Penn Business Solutions, that's PEN Business Solutions, which is a full service marketing and branding firm, one of the largest in the Southern Louisiana area. He also specializes in professional development and things of that nature. And together, he and I both run a nonprofit organization, which is brought to you by this live this morning, called Dear Business Owner. Dear Business Owner is a nonprofit organization where we just give back by educating and having business conversations on a weekly basis every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. Lady T, can you call me after you're live? Yes, ma'am. I will call. I did respond to your email, but I definitely can call you.
Call me. They be waiting, boy. Get
And
out there live.
so someone asked the question, Dwayne, if you had to give advice to a business owner, what is one piece of advice that you can give to a business owner? Read. Reading is fundamental. Just read. I don't care if it's the ingredients on a cereal box. Just read. Just get in the habit of reading.
I like that. Read. You know what my advice would be? Get rid of the need to be tied. You need to toughen up as far as your mentality on when receiving information, right? Here's the thing about what you just said was reading, right? Don't get
Mm-hmm.
books that pacify you. Don't get
I don't
information
be.
that pacify you.
Yeah.
Stop looking for people that make you feel good. That's one thing that people need to do. Read tough content. The IRS.gov website, that's tough content. It ain't nothing nice about it.
If you were to create a step by step, what would you do? The first 5 steps to create any business. Well, Monique, I actually have an ebook that talks about that.
Yeah.
It's actually on
If
my
you
website. The link. First 5 steps, but I can tell it to you real quick. First one is planning. You got to make sure that you have a business plan. Phase 2 is setting up your business identity. You need to make sure that your business has its own identity, not attached to you. Phase 3 is registering the business properly. Phase 4 is branding. You want to make sure that your business has a unique brand, a web presence, and things of that nature. And phase 5 is building business credit. Phase 6, while I'm at it, is you want to make sure that you have a bookkeeping system in place. Phase 7 is you want to make sure that you have credibility by registering with the Better Business Bureau, SAM.gov, and all of those things. And phase 8 is business protection. You want to make sure that you have business insurance, copyrights, trademarks, and a trust setup. Those are the 8 steps of the journey to success in setting up a business. Hope that helps. You can find a lot of the information out on my website. The link is in my bio.
And why did you leave out an important piece of information that you better tell them people? That each one of those steps is a process. That process, each step is a process within itself.
Yes.
Because that's why they're rushing you, because they think that when you got to that part, it's just do it and it's over. Yeah. No. Within each step of the process.
It's a process. It's
another process.
It's about 4 or 5 steps. Yeah, it's about 4 or 5 steps in each phase, right? Why a trust? You want to make sure that the John D. Rockefeller said something many years ago: own nothing, control everything. Your business trust will give you that flexibility. Man, if you got to tell people that, no, seriously, Links, you have no idea. Man, listen, or madam, I'm sorry. You know, and I think there's a difference between people being patient and people being understanding, right? It's just a process. It's like, it's a process, and I think an irrevocable trust, that all depends on what you have going on, honestly. I recommend irrevocable trust in certain situations, but I also recommend revocable. It all depends. But the way that I set up the legacy builder, I have your holding company, a person's holding company, sit at the top. And it acts a lot like a trust, to be honest with you. So that way, for those who are unsure which direction to go, and you don't have all your pieces put in place, things of that nature. So, man.
Dewayne, I got a question for you. This is something I've never heard you break down, right? What's a trust?
A trust is a savings account. I mean, I'm sorry, a safe deposit box. It's sort of like a safe deposit box, right? You take all of your assets and you lock it away in a safe deposit box. So you have a revocable trust and an irrevocable trust, right? And basically the difference between the two is one can be changed, one cannot. And oftentimes people say, well, just go get it in a trust. Well, you can go get a safe deposit box, but unless you put something in a safe deposit box, it's just a safe deposit box. It's the same thing like a trust. You can open 15,000 trusts if you want. Unless that trust owns the assets, then it's just there. So what I mean by that is, for instance, your bank account, your trust can own your finances, your trust can own your home, your trust can own titles and things of that nature. You have to transfer those things into the trust in order for it to be quote unquote protected and remain out of probate court. And what happens is, typically when somebody die, if they owe creditors and things of that nature, it would have to go through probate. If they don't have any living will and stuff like that, then the estate would go to such and such and such and such. And all I'm saying, all this is just getting your affairs in order to make sure that if something happens to you. But people miss the underlying thing. You can go open a trust, but again, like I said, unless that trust owns those assets, it's just sitting there. What you need to do is, and that's why I set up that legacy builder the way that I do, because if you set your businesses up properly, your businesses are assets. If you set those up properly, if something should happen to you, those businesses live on after you pass, right? But again, it's steps. It's a process. It's a thing.
You said set them up how?
Say it again.
You said set your business up how? Did you use the P word?
Properly.
See, you use a word that's very important, right? And that word is properly. There's a way to do there's a way to do things, and the word is properly, right? And that's the part of the conversation people leave out. This is why some things you can't do yourself. Because you don't know exactly what it's going to take to get that done. Some things you cannot do yourself, people. I'm about to put my process back on the board. And I'm not saying you shouldn't take initiative or ownership or control, but get somebody to do it the right way. And then get somebody that's going to teach you after they do it.
I'm not gonna say who, but watch this.
The timeline.
90
Ooh.
days, 90 days at a minimum. At a minimum. At a minimum. And I say that at a minimum.
Dwayne, I'm gonna tell you what. I love that question. What's a typical timeline that someone should expect to create a proper business? We also talking about the functionality of the business too, right?
Okay, so again, I guess that was a loaded question.
Right. You might be able to set up the framework, but
that's good.
getting the business running to reinforce the framework, that's a whole nother. That depends on your skill set, your understanding. That depends on how good your product is.
So with that being said, right? With that being said, I'm going to talk about two things. Number one, to set the foundation up on paper, like to get all of the things kind of like set up. It's about a 90-day process. To actually get your business up and running, function, and from a functionality perspective, I would honestly say no less than a year. Solid footing, 2 years. And that's just real.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
Again, foundationally, paperwork, 90 days. Functionality, 12 months. Real solid footing where you can put on your big boy drawers and your big girl drawers and go out there and do your own thing without having any worries behind you, 2 years.
And look, let me tell y'all a secret. Just so
foundation to functionality. Agreed.
Let me say this so that y'all don't get it confused, because I think y'all everybody on here say Dewayne is so nice until they get the invoice. There are steps in this that's gonna cost y'all money, right? So your business might not have earned enough capital to pay for everything right away. So how long it takes you to get the business totally functional, it depends on your drive and your hustle. And it depends on your dedication to it.
All right, so I want to read something real quick. I'm L'Oreal. I'm sorry, I chopped that name up about that. I'm coming right back. So I sent somebody an email this morning. I'm not gonna say who, and I'm gonna tell you what I'm dealing with. Right, no matter what I teach, here's what I get in response. I was helping somebody with their taxes, and telling them about a tax refund, whatever the case is, and I had a conversation. So this morning I reached out and I was like, "Hey, we can get you X amount of dollars back. We're just waiting on you to submit all the documents back." The response was classic. I'm gonna go with my dad's CPA this year. You can cancel my account, and I'll reach back out once I'm big enough to become a corporation.
Oh, cool. Oh, you gotta be a certain size to be a corporation.
Okay. I can talk about this thing till I'm 18, till I'm blue in the face, and I don't know how to get the message across where it sticks.
I told you the other day, Dewayne, you're hard headed. I told you your worst enemy is a CPA. Your worst enemy. There's tons of CPAs out there putting out bad information. I hear it all the time. Somebody said, my CPA, I'll say, they told you what? CPAs, for some reason, people think that stand for consultant. I don't know what it is. They think the C and CPA stand for consultant. Look, are there some knowledgeable CPAs? Absolutely. But they're not a business consultant most of the time. They're not a business consultant. Your bank is not a business consultant. Your family lawyer is not a business consultant. Those people have a specific job. If you go to your foot doctor and ask him to do brain surgery on you, then you tripping. I'm trying to tell you, man. Misinformation is the number one reason. Misinformation is the number one reason that most businesses are failing. If the people that you trust as your professional in your life do not have proof of concept, proof of their information, run. Go the other way. If they can't show it to you. Whatever they told you, if they can't show it to
Man,
you,
listen.
run. Look.
Listen to me, and I have to say this, y'all. Man, y'all know you know how many battles I fight because people listen to what somebody CPA said or I'm not listen. Man, I love the fact that CPAs exist. I'm not discrediting no CPA at all. I'm not discrediting tax professionals. I opened my tax office so I can literally help the people who kind of get what I'm saying, right? I know I can't be for everybody, but man, when I tell you I battle people's lack of understanding. And I'm gonna say this clear. I'm gonna say this clear. You do not have to make a certain amount of money to be a corporation. That's a lie. That's a lie.
They've been battling that lie for a long time. As if when you registered business, there was a question that was asked. Nowhere when you signed up, they asked you to pick your structure. Did it say how much money you're making? Did not ask it. Some of the information people come across, man, concerns me.
Somebody said it doesn't make financial sense to be a corporation. And this is the lie. Being a corporation has nothing to do with money.
It don't make why it don't make financial sense?
It doesn't. Listen to me, y'all. And I'm going to say this, and y'all can take what y'all want from it. According to the Internal Revenue Service, that's where you go get your EIN from. It says before applying for an EIN, you must determine how you want me to treat you. Whenever you go to the Secretary of State, you have to open the business. Not one time throughout those two transactions is money required. People don't want to change because they are mentally used to doing the same thing. People are saying, I'm afraid of being something. Afraid of what? Because you don't understand, right? It's a difference. 1 second. This is Dwayne.
Look, yeah, Coach Keith, you ain't never lying.
We may have contractors there. Let me check the cameras. They were supposed to go there this morning.
In the IRS code.
Lafayette.
That is so freaking true, man. So true. It's amazing. The rhetoric that's out there is it amazes me. Well, I'll never understand it.
Hold on 1 second. We're not there. Hold on 1 second. Hold on, King. Somebody, the security company calling the wedding venue. Hold on a second, y'all.
Check it out. You need money to make money. Yes, you need a money-making mentality. That's for doggone sure. If your business is not profitable, if your business can't make money, then you need to consider whether you should be in business or not. That's it. I mean, it's just really that simple. It's okay to have aspirations and dreams, but if some of your dreams, look, some of our ideas as a human being are bad ideas. And you got to be able to admit that. That's one thing you got to do. You have to be able to admit that. Like every idea is not a good idea. On my membership? Oh, absolutely. I can speak on my membership, ma'am. Matter of fact, I'm about to post something in there today, as a matter of fact. So, my membership that I started, is Pen Pals. So it's first and foremost, notice is 30-day free trial. So you're in there for a month, you don't pay nothing. And when you do find it, it's only $7.99. I keep that because I want to build a group of people that can connect. And for operational status, what we talk about is you're going to find in the membership there's business articles that I write. These are practical advice and information that you need to run your business. Do-it-yourself business videos. So like I'll go online, pull up things and show you how to do things yourself. I want y'all to be empowered. I don't want you dependent on me for everything. I want you to come to me for expert advice and to do some things at that level. Then there's a business social news feed. So like y'all saw yesterday, Facebook went out. Well, my news feed was still working. So you can communicate, and it also creates an environment where business owners can talk. I also have business networking groups. So if you have a specific industry, we can start a group where we can get people that's in your industry to collaborate and share information and get insights. And most importantly, you get a 10% discount on all services by being a member. So that's a 30-day free trial. There with all after $7.99 a month. You get access to blogs, videos, do-it-yourself tips, social networking, business network group, and 10% discount on all services. So that's not a lot of money. I mean, most people spend $10, $20 on foolishness in a week. So that's for a month. But it's 30 days free. So what you got to lose?
All right. I have a question. You can register a corporation even if you're just starting out? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
That question, Dwayne, would you? I know you how you wanted to answer it, but you didn't. You were not, ma'am. You can register your business any type of way you want when you just starting out.
Yes, ma'am.
The IRS, all they're going to do is going to ask you. They're going to ask you, what structure do you want to be? Before you answer any question, you should research. Don't do what they say. They say just get an LLC. Most people do not know what an LLC is.
It's Dwayne.
Yes, you can be whatever structure. You know when you're in school,
Yes.
they say
Can you please disarm that alarm? We're trying to do it manually. It's our contractor to build it. Yes.
I'm gonna tell you like your teacher said. Your teacher told you could be anything you want to be.
Yes,
The same thing
Lorenzo.
applies for your business.
Hello, sir.
Yes. Okay, we tried to do
Oh,
it manually from the
D&H
phone.
Fitness. That's a fact. I gotta read that out loud. I'm wait till Dwayne done. That's some good one. I like when people put comments and got knowledge. So we read out loud.
Is it still going on?
Paying for the proper knowledge in all capital letters. So B&H Fitness yelled it when they said that. To minimize your losses should be a thing like that LLC craze. Yes, paying for the proper knowledge to minimize your losses. Boy, that's a nugget right there. Some people don't know that. Look, in the world of business, in most things in life, there's general knowledge and then there's exclusive knowledge that really benefits you. And people at some capacity pay to get it. Now, watch this. Dwayne, do you think that the knowledge that Harvard is teaching is different than your local university?
What kind of question is that?
I'm trying to make it simple for everybody to understand.
No.
There's a reason that Harvard charges what they charge. They're giving access to a certain level of knowledge that your local community college does not teach. Their curriculum is different. Their material quality is different. It's all different. That's why you got to pay. And if you don't believe me, explain why they've been open that many years at that pay rate.
You know, man, you know, one of the things that I think people miss is so here. I think we all at a point in our life, we all have a level of anxiety when it comes to making different decisions, right? I get it. And one of the things that we have a hard time doing as a people is anytime that we come across new information, our natural reaction is to counter it with information that we already knew.
Boy,
So it's almost like that natural reaction to combat new information. And you know, maybe call it a defense mechanism, call it a signal, whatever we want to call it. I get it.
I'm about to show you.
However, if I told you right now, the sky is green, because you've been seeing a blue sky your entire life, you're gonna automatically say that's not right. Rather than go peep outside just to see if the sky is green. My point being, if I tell you this entire time that you've been running business, you thought an LLC separated you, and I'm telling you that's not true. Change is grievous.
That's why I wrote that in the book. Because people do not like change in any capacities. They don't like, you know, we're too busy. I call it raccooning, right? You know what raccooning is, Dwayne?
What's that?
Okay. I used to have a friend growing up, and he used to catch raccoons. So here's what I asked him. How do you catch a raccoon? He said, this is what I do. I get a box, and I put a shiny object in the box, and I put a small hole that the raccoon got to squeeze his little hand in there to get the object, and I put a light on it in the dark. The raccoon by nature is a thief. So he squeezes his hand, and he grabs the object, and he holds it tight for dear life. Thing about it is, he holds on so tight, he balls up the fist, and the fist can't come back through the hole. So in the morning, rather than leave, the raccoon's sitting there, holding the object. And all he had to do was let it go, and he can get his hand out. People tend to raccoon with information. Here it is, the information that was taught, whether it's right or wrong, they're holding on to it so tight, they're staying in one place.
Wow. That's a good analogy.
And all they have to do is be open-minded and let it go, and they can get out of this situation. You're offering information, but they won't take it because they're raccooning. I'm holding on to what they said. I'm holding on to what mama said, daddy said, grandpa said, cousin said, friend said. And until people let go information, when people come off, one of the exercises that I do, Dwayne, in business and personal development, I give them 2 glasses, Dwayne. Both of them have the same amount of water, almost full. And I said, and we go to the kitchen, and I said, I need you to take the water from one glass and pour it into the other glass without spilling one drop. 50% of the people can't figure it out because they're raccooning. The other 50%, you know what they realize? In order for me to do that, I'm going to have to pour out one of the glasses. So I said, until you figure that part out, I can't help you develop the mindset you need for your business.
And that's real.
And that's the thing. You've been pouring out plenty of information, plenty. But if the person has not emptied their mindset,
that's real.
Nothing you pour into them will remain.
And I find myself having to offer reassurance more often than not. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. And it's because it's like they're holding on to dear life for what they used to hearing, right? DJ Rising, can you reactivate your corporation's name if it has been inactive for ages purposes? I don't understand the question. Can you react it a different way? Harvard has a history of having the best info that's shifting. Thanks, Coach Keith.
I don't know if
Yeah.
they're shifting. I don't know if they're shifting.
Can you
That
reactivate a corporate name if it's been inactive? It depends if somebody else took it or not. In order to grow, you have to let go. Wow, more okay. Can't pour new wine into an old wine.
you can't do it.
And I
No.
think that is the biggest thing that we're trying to get people to understand is, like, for instance, this individual who the first thing that they said, and I want y'all to hear this, right? And again, I just want you to just say, like, I'm not big enough to become corporate. And then when I say that that's not right, the response is, it doesn't benefit me to be in a corporation if I want to pay less taxes. I'm just starting out in a corporation that doesn't make financial sense.
Wait,
We
say
are
that.
thinking it doesn't benefit me to be a corporation if I want to pay less in tax.
It's how you pay it. People don't know. It's how you. How much do
Oh
you
my
actually? You gotta
word.
ask this question, right? How much do you actually know about taxes?
Wow.
It's like having your first child,
Wow.
right? You got in order for you to raise your child right, you gotta accept the fact that you don't know much about raising a child and that you're willing to learn. And then when you're
Okay.
willing to learn, you'll get the knowledge and you'll get the resource and you keep on learning more and more. When it comes to taxes, how do you know what to do if you don't know anything about tax? Because I didn't go to school for taxes.
So I got an analogy for you. Since you gave a good analogy, let me try to see. I don't know if I can top yours. I'm not even trying, but let me just give you this analogy.
Man, you got good analysis. Let's go.
Today is January 1st. When do you file taxes? If you just open your business today, January 1st, 2024, when do you file taxes? Anybody can answer. If you just open your business today, January 1st, it's January 1st, 2024, when do you have to file taxes for that business? I say January/February of 2025. Okay. March 15th, 2025. Okay. At least I'm seeing 2025. We can forget about the date, right? I got it. Now, so no, 2024 is wrong. So 2025, right? That's when you would file your federal taxes for that business next year. I have so many business owners worried about next year versus what's happening January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. My point being is we will literally put our business in a chokehold by something that we have to do next year. You file taxes based on what you do throughout the year. So if you are worried about taxes, why not worry about how to reduce your tax liability? What I mean by that, your tax liability is how much you owe the IRS. Well, if you worry about how to reduce your tax liability January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, when it's time for you to file your taxes in 2025, you are just filing based on what you already did all year.
You see, man, you dropping nuggets that some people are not catching right now. If you're so worried about taxes, if you're so worried about it, then you really should be looking at your business structure to see if you maximize your knowledge. You know what? I'm gonna tell you, okay, I'm gonna call it out. Here's the truth. People choose their structure because of what they think is easiest for them.
Thank you. Thank you. People choose their structure based on what they think is easy, as in, oh, how much am I have to pay in taxes? Wait a minute. Why are you hold on. You are already killing your year because you're operating your year based on what you think you don't want to pay, when yet, wait a minute. You forgot how to fundamentally operate your business.
And when people say that, the first thing we all know is that you're thinking about how to take a loss. That's
You already
main
thinking
focus.
about losing.
You're thinking about, how do I take a loss so I don't. You know what? Okay, Dwayne, I'm gonna just say what it is. This is what it is. The problem is this: you're probably trying to figure out how not to pay taxes.
What can I write off?
You watch this. You're trying to figure out how not to pay taxes because that's what you've seen the person you don't like do, Donald Trump. The rich people don't pay taxes. The Asian people don't pay taxes. No, they choose the right structure.
That's the difference that allows them not to pay taxes.
It's simple.
That's it right there. They choose the right structure that allows them to do that.
You think Donald Trump over there like I'm trying to figure out how to write off? No, he's making decisions that allow him to take advantage of the tax laws and the rules and the codes and certain structure. Watch this. Just like some of y'all have a certain degree that gives you certain access, certain structures give you certain access to certain information.
Smitty, for everybody that don't know, Smitty is powerful 0825 Hotmail. I wish he can scream it. I wish he can scream it. I wish he can come on here and scream this statement.
Read it out loud.
So should we concentrate more on earning and let the professionals assist you?
That's it.
I wish he can come on here and scream that for everybody to hear. Yeah, please do what you do best. As a matter of fact, go try to make 18 million. Give me work to do. Let me do my job. Go try to earn 18 million if you can. Please.
I don't necessarily agree with a young lady that I heard. I don't agree with the statement, but I can't argue with her. I don't know if you understand what I just said. I don't agree with the statement, but I can't argue with her. She told people how much she paid in taxes and followed up with a statement that said, because I make enough money anyway. Now, she could make more money. I'm saying I don't agree with the statement because she's in the wrong structure. But the fact is, she's focused on making the money. That way, she's not worried about the taxes.
Man, like, yeah, if it's almost like people are trying to avoid something that has absolutely nothing with the growth to do with the growth of their business. Do you know that at the end of the day, Coach Keith said it earlier, let's just say that you made a $10,000 profit. You had to pay taxes on that. If you were structured properly, you didn't have to pay taxes on that. That's number one. Number two, whenever you try to buy a house or get a loan, they always ask you for your tax returns. Mm-hmm. Most people get denied because they can't afford it. And in your mind, you can. Well, no, you can't afford it. If you just told the government that you didn't make any money, you also told the banks you don't make any money.
See, that's a secret I wish you would repeat more often. I've heard you say that on several occasions. One time, listen, people, one time at the Minority Business Development, yes, that's a federal agency. We be all over the place. We be around legitimate places, just so y'all know, because I know some of y'all like, well, what makes them credible? What makes it where they feel like they can tell us what to do? The people y'all going to, that's what makes us credible, damn it. They say them dudes know what they talking about. Let's bring them on and tell. Y'all are getting free access and information. And then you got somebody in the chat who's phenomenal, who's got information too. We always said, If you don't come to us, come to somebody like us. I know some of y'all don't like personalities. That's why y'all got a hard time getting your business right.
So today I have to spend my day, the power of the write-off, get an LLC and Lorenzo still.
Right off everything.
Everybody, BH Fitness has been a friend of mine's, a colleague for 20 plus years. He understands where we coming from. Get an LLC and write everything off. That's exactly.
Because guess what?
Oh
that
my
is
God.
the number one reason for people getting an LLC. So I can write everything off. Okay.
Okay. So let me answer all of the questions and sum it up. What is the right structure? I can't answer that for you because I don't know the answer to this question. So I'm going to ask you right now. I have 95 people in the chat. I'm going to ask you one simple question and you tell me what your answer is. You ready? Here we go. Do you want to be attached to the business where when people see you, they see the business all the time? Or do you want to be separated from the business? Go. Attached or separated? Go.
Whoa. Why are you giving people a hard time, Dewayne?
I just want to know. Somebody say attached. All right.
And that's it. Yeah, some people want to be attached.
If you want to be attached, if you want to stay attached to the business, you should be structured as a sole proprietor, LLC, and an S-Corp or a partnership if you want to be attached. An S-Corp attaches you to the business. If you want to be detached, C-Corp is the only structure that allows you to be detached. Do you know why? Because a C-Corp is seen as a United States person, a totally separate being. It's like you have a twin, right? That's it. All other structures, sole proprietor, partnership, limited liability company, and S-Corp, are all pass-through entities. That means all of the business's income, losses, and deductions pass through to the owner. And the owners report the flow through of income on their personal tax returns and are assessed taxes at the individual income tax rate. If you file Form 8832, as Ms. Nina said, unfortunately, you file your taxes as a C-Corp, but according to the Secretary of State that you operate in, you are still a limited liability company. You have to understand, we operate under state guidelines and federal guidelines simultaneously. Just because you file your taxes as something and that the state sees you as otherwise, you are still living and operating in that state. Log on to your Secretary of State right now. You will still be classified as an LLC, which is a limited liability company. All you did was said, "Hey, place that tax return on a C-Corp tax return." That's it. You still connected. Your EIN still says limited liability company. And in case you didn't know, King, can I share my screen real quick, please?
Absolutely.
I just want to show something.
Yeah.
Watch this. I want y'all to see it. I'm gonna turn my phone, and I want y'all to read this. I want y'all to read this. How you change this around? All right, here we go. All right, here we go. I want y'all to read something. I'm going right here. I'm applying for an EIN. Begin application. Watch this. Before applying for an EIN, you should have already determined what type of legal structure right? Look what happens. I'm a click LLC. Pay attention. I'm a click LLC. It says you have chosen a limited liability company. What it is, a limited liability company is allowed at the state level, not federal. But look what happens. It says what it is not. LLCs are not incorporated and do not file in articles of incorporation. But look what happens when I click incorporated. A business is incorporated when it has been granted a charter legally recognizing it as a separate entity having its own privileges, rights, and liabilities distinct from other businesses and persons. Again, a business is incorporated when it has been granted a legal charter recognizing it as a separate entity. What it is not, LLCs are not incorporated.
And you hear people spreading that myth, like a LLC is corporate. Like, no, it's not. It's not.
You ain't got to believe us. Go read it for yourself.
Believe the tax people. Believe them. Look, hell, they won't believe them either. You ain't lying. They believe they. You
No,
ain't
just
never
convert it.
lying. You ain't never lying. What's going on with celery? Just so y'all know, I see some people commenting about starting over, right? You can't delete an EIN. Yes, somebody can come after you if the business is attached to you. That's look, just so y'all know, this is why they've had such a hard time with Mr. Trump, because he was smart enough to make sure that all 500 of his entities were corporations. So when they did find him guilty on some tax issues, the company was found guilty, not him. His corporations were. And there's only two of them because it's detached from him. That's why they can't find anything on him personally. They find something on his entities. Everybody's after him. He's like, he got his stuff set up right. Now, if he was Trump LLC, that man been locked up. I can tell you that. He'd have been locked behind bars. If you in this for the long game, there's some things you need to do. Money you need to invest. If you're in it for the long game, people. If y'all in it for the short game, just to make a little extra, little line yob, a little extra, I can understand some of the decisions people make. But whenever you say, I want a business, I want to pass it on to my children, I want to have legacy built, you got to make some different type of decisions. Got to make different type of decisions. Matter
And
of fact, Dwayne, I want to reinforce something you said.
to be honest, so go ahead.
You were pointing out the is implicating the state versus federal, right? The news yesterday just declared, the Supreme Court declared that there was no state, watch this, pay attention, that could determine that a person could not run for federal candidacy. So they squashed the whole thing, right? So you know what they were doing is each state was trying to determine whether it was going to let Donald Trump be on the ballot over there. Supreme Court stepped in and said, well, this is a federal ballot. State can't override it. So to your point of LLC versus corporations, the corporation is operating at a federal level, whereas the LLC operates at the state level. Which one you think has more power and influence?
Okay.
It's going to always be the corporation.
And let me go ahead and kind of address something. There was a comment before that stated that the IRS is not a federal agency, is the Department of Treasury. Fair. But the U.S. Department of Treasury is a department of what? The United States government. I think sometimes people try to, surpass all of these different things with I don't know. Or like for instance, you know how they have this big campaign on social media that's telling people how you don't your contract when you got your car is not valid, or your contract when you got your house is not valid. You can go ahead and dispute that and all of that good stuff. Let me share something from y'all. All that's doing is teaching people how to not be responsible and take care of their debts. If you go to a particular place and you purchase a vehicle, regardless of what the contract say or it doesn't say, you went and purchased that vehicle. Come on, man. But it's that type of mindset.
Dewayne, it's amazing that somebody even challenged you on that. Here's a little tip, just to let y'all know. Matter of fact, let me read the definition first, just so the people that don't know what this definition is can understand. I like this today, right? A bureau, the definition of bureau, I'm preparing y'all first. I'm going to go backwards. Is an organization or unit within a larger entity. I'm laying out the foundation. A bureau, I repeat, is an organization or unit within a larger entity, right? Let me give you all a little example if I go where I'm going. FBI, CIA. Locally, police department, sheriff department. They're all law enforcement. And they're bureaus within law enforcement. So let's back up all those people that's debating Dewayne on what the IRS is. The IRS is a bureau of the Department of Treasury. I'm just saying, for those that are, if we need to dumb it down a little bit more, it's a department in the company.
Let me ask another question. Let me just ask another question, just out of curiosity. Why is it that we're always in conversations about how to repair credit, but we're never in conversations how to repair the person who got the bad credit? I'm just asking. We always talk about let's fix the credit, but we don't want to fix the person who got the bad credit. Because at the end of the day, if we don't change the behaviors, all we're doing is finding loopholes, so we think, to get out of the thing. And how can you responsibly run a business if you're always looking for the loophole? Business isn't built on loopholes, people. It's built on foundations. just in case.
What's the old pimp saying?
My question is, if there's a legal matter taking place in a corporation, who goes to jail? Hold on. I am Khalif. Amazing question. Amazing question. I am Khalif. Now, this is going to be a loaded response. But feel me when I come with the response. You ready? This is why I try to educate people on how to become a shareholder. We're too busy trying to be business owners versus shareholders. Because whenever you are a shareholder, you typically hire a CEO, CFO, COO, etc., etc. Whenever there's an EIN given, you have to give it to a responsible party, right? So the responsible party can be designated as your executive C-suite team. Understand? Right? So when we build businesses, we're often building them with us working in the business versus working on the business. So to that point, it should be, because right now, whenever Trump Industries went through that whole thing, it wasn't Trump that got the issue. It was who? The person in charge of running the company. And it wasn't Donald Trump.
Everybody went to jail but him? Well, he did go for a little while. But the ones who doing time are not him. If you play the game of chess, your pawn's on the front row.
Again, and all I'm simply saying is, so the executive team goes to jail like the CEO. They did go to jail. I get it. Yeah.
They're your pawns in the game of chess.
And again, I'm not saying that you should do anything to go to jail. I'm just saying, if you set up your business legitimately the way it should be, they're the shareholders.
Yeah, you. When you build a business, you protect it, including yourself.
Am I available at 12 p.m. Central? Now, Bunny, hold on, Bunny. I don't know who you are, Bunny, but I'm gonna follow you back. I would love to join. Why not? I enjoy talking to people. I have to check my schedule, but yeah, I'll double check. Are shareholders like board of executives? No. Jimmy Rose, great question. Let me ask you a question, and I'm gonna give you so that way we do not overthink shareholders. Here we go. Number one, if you went to buy stock in Amazon, would you have decisions? Could you make decisions? All right. You are just what? You just hold a share. That's it. Nothing more. Nothing less. You have different classes of shareholders, right? One that has voting rights, one that doesn't, etc. Whenever you invest into a company, you don't have voting rights, right? You just invest. When we build business, we have to get out of the mindset of I'm a business owner. Hey, like I heard somebody say the other day, and this was on a television show. They said, I am so-and-so LLC. Why? We are so engulfed in trying to make ourselves sound more than what we are. We say, I own so-and-so LLC. No. What you did indirectly was told everybody that matters that you got that LLC because why? You feel that if somebody sue you, you don't have to pay, you're not attached to it. Because when we really go back to the root of why people get LLCs, let's talk about it. Write stuff off. If something happened to you, something happened to the business, they can't sue you and all of those things. So you already got the LLC for the wrong reason.
You know who I met a while back that had an LLC for the right reason?
Who?
A doctor.
Well, he can't. Now, hold on. He cannot be a corporation because his license can't be a corporation. His license has to be attached to the individual who's doing the work.
That's what I'm saying.
But he can work. But hold on. But guess what? he can work for a corporation. Message.
Look, this doctor, I was the one remitting the invoice for him, and I seen the setup. He worked for a major hospital corporation, and he was getting paid as an LLC because he has all the liability as the doctor. It made sense. No
Correct.
matter what he does,
Correct.
it's on him.
Correct. Correct.
So now he positioned himself as a business entity, and it has to tie to him anyway. So I'm like, okay, this makes sense.
I got one else that makes sense to you too. I got one other. I said it the other night. Let me see if some people catch this. Let me see if somebody catch this. Can you donate money to a person and it be tax free? Or do you have to donate to a company and it be tax free? Go.
You dirty rascal.
Okay. Company. I'm just okay. The point being, you can donate to a charity tax free, not to a person. Catch what I'm saying?
Can I ask you a question?
Before you answer that, a LLC can't be a charity. Go.
You the professional. I'm gonna ask you a question. Can you pay your tithes through your business? And I'm just asking. I mean, I'm just.
What?
Should your business pay your tithes for you?
Your business can donate to charity.
To the nonprofit organization, the
Your
house.
business can donate
So
to church.
if you had a corporation, it'd be a blessing to have the corporation pay the tithes. Oh, okay. I'm just asking. I mean, because most churches are nonprofit organizations.
Yeah, they are.
Okay. So it's a win-win for you and God. Most people ain't thinking about that, I suppose. You know, that the business pay the tithes. You know, I mean.
Listen, man. Listen.
I'm just saying.
Listen to what I'm saying, y'all. Let me let me read y'all. Let me read y'all the language so that way you don't.
Y'all should send me cash out for that tip.
The tip to ensure promptness. Okay, listen. Let me read y'all. I'm on the IRS site. Wait, nobody can. Let me turn this around real quick. No, I'm cheating. Let me read this. All right, it says charitable contribution deductions. Let me help you right now. Here we go. Let me read it. Pay attention. In most cases, the amount of charitable cash contributions taxpayers can deduct on a Schedule A as an itemized deduction, pay attention, is limited to roughly about 60% of the adjusted gross income. Ding, 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 ding. Next statement. Qualified contributions are not subject to this limitation. Individuals may deduct qualified contributions of up to 100% of their adjusted gross income. Qualified contributions have to be made to a qualified organization. Well, what is a qualified organization? One asks, and I'm glad you asked. A qualified organization It says you may deduct a charitable contribution made to or for the use of any of the following organizations that are under the section 170C of the Internal Revenue Code. Qualified organization, you ready? A community chest, a corporation, a trust, a fund, or a foundation organized and created in the United States or its possessions under the laws of the United States, organized exclusively for charitable, religious, educational, scientific, or literary purposes. Point being, I can take 100% of my adjusted gross income, all of my money, and donate it to a corporation.
That's the way they work.
Okay.
Some people, it's gonna
Okay.
hit them later. It's gonna hit them later. The habits of wealthy people.
Y'all keep going around and doing what y'all doing. Not a problem. I know they are. I am Khalifa. I know. Okay, repeat. Let me read it again. I'm gonna read it one more time. Hold on. Let me read it slow.
Slow motion.
In most cases, the amount of charitable cash contributions taxpayers can deduct on a Schedule A itemized deduction is limited to 60% of their adjusted gross income. However, qualified contributions are not subject to these limitations. Individuals, hold on, King, it gets better. I forgot to read the other part. Individuals may deduct qualified contributions of up to 100% of their adjusted gross income. A corporation may deduct qualified contributions of up to 25% of its taxable income. Hold on. So individuals can deduct 100%. Corporations can deduct 25%. Boy, y'all don't even understand what's happening.
No, they don't.
A qualified contribution must be made to a qualified organization. A qualified organization is a community chest, a corporation, a trust, a fund, or a foundation organized exclusively for charitable, religious, educational, scientific, or literary purposes. My point being, not only can you donate all of your money to charity, so can your corporation donate to charity. So in case you're trying to understand what am I talking about, I'm gonna show it to you on paper, so that way you don't misunderstand what we are trying to teach you all. And I'm gonna just show this one picture. And King, I swear, I'm gonna let you have the floor. Here's the picture.
Show it to them, man.
That means our operating company can retain up to two.
Oh, what happened? Dewayne froze. Oh man, we lost Dewayne. Okay, he's not frozen no more. You can't hear him though.
My bad.
There you go. There you go.
A holding company is like a living safe deposit box. It holds all your assets. I told y'all the IRS freezing your screens. So now, let me connect the dots for y'all. So yesterday, Facebook and Instagram was down for a little bit. Now, immediately, I already know Petty Boots over here was gonna call me. So Petty Boots called me and he just busted out laughing. And he said, now I wonder what all of those people who operate in their business from Facebook and Instagram doing right now, which is so true. What we are trying to teach you all is whenever you go, watch this. Let's say I wanted to come visit your house. You having a party. Would you want me to come directly to you to ask, can I come? Or would you want me to go through other people to see if I can come to your party? Go. Just answer the question. If you was having a party right now at your house and you wanted people to RSVP through you at your house, would you want me to RSVP through you or would you want me to go through some other people? Okay, depends on who you are. Okay, naturally people want you to go, you want people to come directly to you, right? Well, whenever you're running your business on Facebook, you're telling people to go to Facebook before coming to you directly. I'll let that marinate right there. Look what Coach Keith says. Petty Boots Consulting Group Incorporated is now accepting donations. I'm just saying, whenever you send people to other places other than to you directly, what you're doing is watering down their intensity and their motivation. They're so excited to get a part of you, but now they got to go through all of these hoops and channels to get to you. Why would they do that? This is what happens when you don't have your own platform and people to go to.
Because they can afford to take that kind of loss, huh?
I guess so. It was a sad day for you yesterday.
Because they like taking losses. Oh my goodness. So this Sunday, what y'all need to do is your company needs to go ahead and make a 10% donation to a charitable organization before you take your salary.
I think they're gonna end up shutting us off of TikTok, man. I'm telling you, somebody's gonna report us. Somebody's gonna report us on TikTok. I'm telling you.
And everybody benefits. That's a blessing. You see, you gotta understand how money works.
Oh shit.
Well, no.
Man,
okay, so here's the other tip that you need to know. What y'all need to know, there's a certain community that we describe with 3 letters. That's why they has it. Y'all ain't never noticed everything goes through the religious sanctities of that community. Y'all ain't never noticed that?
Wow.
That's the reason for that. Y'all wonder why they are some of the wealthiest people in this country? Don't say I didn't tell you.
Whew.
Don't say I didn't tell you.
Let me say this. I have a question. I'm gonna ask you a question. Yes or no? Do you wish to be wealthy? Yes or no? All right. If you want to be wealthy, it is going to require you to unlearn everything that you've ever learned.
Oh, whoa. That's a statement right there.
The first step to becoming wealthy is by acknowledging that you don't know anything. That's how you have to go into it, right? And then as you accept the fact that, you know what, I have to unlearn everything that I've learned before, I have to now make a conscious effort to operate differently than I've operated before. What I mean by that is, some of you all, you can't even have the same conversations with people no more.
Mm-mm.
You can't keep talking to some of the same people that you've been talking to. You need to put yourself in a community of people that are going to help hold you accountable and at least lead you down the right way. Now, when I say that, and I say that, I've asked you all, do you want to be separate or attached? I've said yesterday that for most people who are dependent on Facebook and you don't have your own platform, you're doing yourself a disservice. The point that we're trying to make is simple. Is simply, I don't care what your auntie or your uncle told you before. They love you, but they probably don't know what's in your best interest. Your CPA is an amazing person. They probably have a heart of gold. If they didn't teach you what we're teaching you, that doesn't mean that they're bad people. They may not just be good for what you're trying to do. Nothing bad. There's nothing wrong, right? If we're telling you it takes at a minimum of 90 days to structure everything on paper properly, minimum of 90 days to structure everything on paper properly, a minimum of a year to get everything set up to get you going functionally, and 2 years to just soar your wings. That means you have to make a declaration to yourself today to know that for the next 2 years, I'm going to grind to do this the right way. And if you can do that and truly commit to that, again, your first 90 days is setting up everything right on paper. Your next few months for that year is to function properly. And in that 2 years, it's just kind of bringing everything together. If you can make that commitment to yourself today, I guarantee you, as sure as my name is Dewayne Williams, on March 6, 2024, I am telling you that March 6, 2026, you're going to be looking at us like, man, I see what y'all talking about. God damn, it look good on this other side. Own nothing. Control everything.
Man, we just want people to win, man. You know, if there's more people winning, then there's an advantage for everybody. It's an advantage for every single person out there if we all win. We just got tired of watching people lose. Tired of seeing people lose, and the word you used to say all the time was on the hamster wheel, man. It's the same old thing over and over again. And it's a mentality. It's a losing mentality. Just want to see him win, Dewayne. Just want to see him win.
Man, I gotta go, man. I got a team meeting. Y'all have Corp C or Corp S? C-Corps all day long.